In expedition, we learned about bean plants. As you can see, the seed coat is slowly falling off and the new sprout is coming. The roots are growing and slowly the stem is sprouting and the cotyledons are shriveling. The leaves are about to sprout. Our experiment was to see if our bean plant could thrive in cotton balls if we took away one of its basic needs, which is soil. These are the functions of my plant that I have learned. In expedition, we learned about basic needs and how it helps us thrive. The basic needs include food, water, love, friends, pets, school, and breaks, and many more, of course. I can examine maps to explain patterns. I can use maps to explain how people and the environment are connected. In expedition, we also made postcards and picked a place as if we went there and wrote about it. I will now read you what I wrote in my postcard to Dubai. Dear Grandma, here's what we did on our 5 days in Dubai. First, on Monday, I went to an outdoor playground on the ocean. There were trampolines to jump on, slides to slide down on, obstacles to go through, and it was all on the ocean. On Tuesday, we went shopping and got bucket loads of souvenirs. The mall at City Walk had so many things it gave me a headache. On Wednesday, we did skydiving. It was so exhilarating looking down and seeing everything with a bird's eye view. On Thursday, we did a spa to calm our heartbeat. We got massages, a cleansing ritual, and a hot tub filled with flower petals. That smelled so good. In the end, I was so relaxed and ready to get on the plane. On Friday, we boarded the plane and said goodbye to Dubai. Love you, Izzy. In science, I learned how to use a microscope and all of the different components. In science, I now know how to refocus the lens, turn on the light, and switch the lenses. In science, we looked at our plant cell, and I learned about the cell wall, chloroplast, and nucleus. We also decided to swab our cheek to look at our own cells in our cheek. Here are some pictures of my cheek cell. As you can see, the little dot, which is the nucleus in my cells. I can make and record scientific observations. I can develop inferences from my observations and turn them into testable questions. I can do an investigation and use evidence to show that living things are made of cells. I can explain that these cells combine to make structures that perform functions. In math, we're learning about ratios and rates. This is my quiz on mean, median, and mode, which I got PD on. I now know how to make equivalent ratios. I can display data in a dot plot and or histogram to describe the distribution of things. This is a project that I'm really proud of. The objective was to find the mean, mode, median, range, and MAD, which is the average of the average. And it took a long time, but I think it looks really good. RWW. In RWW, we read a book called Seed Folks. Seed Folks begins with a 9-year-old daughter, Kim. She never got to meet her father, so she decides to build a garden, so then her father can see how patient she is and strong. And then it just keeps growing from there. Some things that I would be really proud to show you would be my I Am From map, which I worked really hard on. My I Am From poem, which I will now read you. This is my reading log that I have to record my reading daily. I am from a land that values intelligence over popularity, a land where no one is mistaken for someone they are not. I am from the land of culture and diversity, where good smells come from the kitchen and laughter fills the air. I am from a mountain blanketed with crystal-like snow and woods surrounded by tall, sugary maples that produce heavenly syrup. I am from rugs filled with dog hair and welcoming snuggles, nothing but happiness, slobber, and joy. I am from lots of things, but in the end, I am from a loving family, filled with support and kindness that I am very grateful for. By Izzy Simone. Oh! This is my simple art drawings that I worked really hard on. At first I thought that I lost them, but then I found them again. I am very proud of these because I did them all by myself, and I'm usually not very good at drawing. This is my pour painting that I did also in art. I made it to look sort of like the ocean, which I'm very proud of because it took forever, and I think it looks really good. This is my sugar skeleton skull for Day of the Dead that I made in art class on metal. So far, I've gotten proficient in every single column, or at least so far. I now know to take safe risks and not to take bad risks because they can have unknown outcomes. I haven't really learned a whole lot because there have been multiple distractions.